first one is a little bit of a rant. Let me get it out of the way, and then I want to read some stuff for you. You react. Draymond Green has done a Q&A about Jordan Poole, about his future, about all kinds of things. We'll get to that in a second. But first, Steve Kerr came out yesterday and said, with regard to Andre Iguodala, and thank God Dibbs isn't here today because he would have fallen over out of his chair and gone into some sort of shock because he can't handle anything related to Andre Iguodala. He's triggered every time he sees him in a collared shirt. Steve essentially said, we're not worried about Andre. Like, Andre is going through workouts. He's practicing. Oh, great. When's he going to play? I don't know. January? February?
Right.
Whatever. We don't need him right now. It's December 2nd, and it underlined a bigger point for me, which is stop stressing about November and December, Warriors fans. Stop stressing because they aren't. If they're not stressed, why would you be stressed? This is literally their job. They literally get paid millions of dollars to do it well, and they are chilling. This is example or exhibit number 432. The Warriors don't care about the first half of the year. They're just going to gather enough wins to be in position to do what they need to do at the end. When's Andre playing? We don't know. We don't care because now doesn't matter. They're still going to win the next 3 games in a row. I've already guaranteed it. They're going to win enough games to be fine. We get to February, and they're going to try to turn the Jets on. So stop worrying when they lose to Dallas on a Tuesday by 3 in November. It doesn't matter.
You were looking through my soul that entire time.
Yes. Yes, I was.
You said Warriors fans, you meant Kyle. Although you picked that Tuesday in against Dallas.
You did well.
And I was chilling.
You did really well.
Good.
Yes, yeah. I was proud of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
So I agree with you for the most part. And I think that's what that loss against Dallas, that was when I got to that space that you're talking about. Where it's like, okay, they were fine. They had a couple of 3 guys, Poole, Wiggins, and Clay had their off nights. If one of those guys makes 2 additional 3-pointers, they win. Like, I'm not super concerned. But through the first, I don't know, whatever it was, 18, 20 games, whatever.
15 at least.
It was like, whoa, they have massive problems. This is not a team that is chilling because it's November. Like, no, this is a team that doesn't have a rotation figured out.
Yep.
They might just not have enough good NBA players to compete for a championship, which is kind of the standard that we've come to set for this team. So that was the worry early in the year.
Well, I just think also when you see something like that, you have to put your faith in a group that has earned it, that they're going to make the necessary adjustments. Have the Warriors had to do some things that they didn't plan on doing? Have they had to do some things they didn't want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wiseman's in Santa Cruz. That was not the hope. That's not what they wanted to do.
Right.
But they did.
Right.
They're better off now for
Sure.
it. They've had to figure out some rotations. They're not a completed product yet, but I would be concerned, I guess, by now, quarter pole of the season, if they weren't showing any improvements, they weren't showing the desire to do anything about it, but that's obviously not the Warriors. And they have what we as fans don't, which is perspective and confidence and a view of the whole season. I always come back to this with the Warriors. They know what they're doing. It doesn't mean it's going to work every time, but they know what they're doing.
They're smarter than me.
They know what they're doing.
Yes.
They're the Warriors.
So right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I want that on the record. Mark is right here. But
Well, no, they're right. They know what they're doing.
sure. But the thing at the beginning of the year was, okay, yeah, Steph gets the benefit of the doubt. Steve Kerr gets the benefit. Draymond Green. I'll even give it to Jordan Poole, bro. Like, I think Jordan Poole is going to figure it out.
Yep.
I think Jordan Poole is going to be fine. But when it came to James Wiseman, and when it came to Jonathan Kuminga, when it came to Moses Moody, and it was so many Ty Jerome minutes. It was a lot of Ty Jerome.
There was.
And like, who is Anthony Lamb? What is this? Like, there were pieces that were playing a lot of minutes where it's like, I cannot give the benefit of the doubt that player is going to improve and be good enough. And like you said, the Warriors went about making their changes and making their adjustments. Jonathan Kuminga, Dante DiVincenzo coming back has helped. Moving James Wiseman out of the rotation and into Santa Cruz has helped. Jonathan Kuminga being as good as he was against Minnesota and against Dallas, and then you hear Steve Kerr talking about he's been great 2 games in a row. I think he played his best game. And the fact that he's figuring out like, oh, it's not I have to score 20 to have a good game. It's I'm going to do all this other stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff that matters. And I had doubts early in the season that he was going to figure that out. And they did. Yeah. And that's great.
Yeah. And again, more of that needs to go. Like, they're not there yet. But it's just, I think there's different ways to look at different teams.
Sure.
Okay? And the 49ers are actually an example, too. When they were 3-4 and they had been through a lot, they tried to switch quarterbacks. He got hurt. They had to readjust on the fly. The idea that these groups are going to figure it out and be better in the second half than they are in the first half, it's like rinse, repeat. We've already proven this. They do it every year. So it doesn't mean they're going to win it all. But the Warriors' goal is not to be awesome in December. That's never the goal. I mean, I love how many stressed fans there are who also think that the NBA doesn't even start till Christmas. Well, if it hasn't started, then chill. Chill. But no, you can go on the journey. Do you? Like, throw stuff off the wall. I don't care. I'm just saying, when Steve said that yesterday, it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Y'all are playing for April and May and June. That's what you're doing.
Well, and now they've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, this is a team that I can see playing for April.
Yes.
Like, they have players that, like, Anthony Lamb's been really good for them. I just mentioned Jonathan Kuminga. They'll have Andre Iguodala at some point in the second half, according to Steve Kerr. And then come playoff time, I think Klay's going to continue kind of figuring it out, and I think he's going to be up and down, and maybe not peak Klay again, but I think come playoff time, certainly defensively in big spots, you're going to see a very, very good version of Klay Thompson. So, yeah, I think come March, April, May, you'll see them flip that switch a little bit. But early in the year, the people who are pulling their hair out or putting their hands on their head, in my case, I don't have any hair, FYI, surprise.
Now we know why.
So the people that were doing that, I thought were justified in doing so because it's like, man, this is a team finding its way. This isn't a team playing for April.
Scott Hansen coming up in 8 minutes. How's this grab you? Okay, Draymond Green sits down with Mark Spears, does a little bit of a Q&A. Here's the question. What can you share about your relationship with Jordan Poole now? Quote, we're teammates, the same as I am with any teammate. I come to work. I'm going to do everything that I can to help a guy. I'm going to do everything I can to help the team. That's who we are. Next question. Is it fair to say the working relationship with you both is fine? Yes, it's great. There's no problem with that. How does that grab you from Draymond Green talking about Jordan Poole?
So Draymond Green and Jordan Poole are not going to host an event in Fremont in 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
No, Jordan Poole.
Yeah, you don't know that.
That was kind of the whole issue after the punch. Can they just play together? I don't care if they're homies or not. Can they play together? Can Draymond Green set a screen for Jordan Poole? Can Jordan Poole pass it to a cutting Draymond Green? Can they get along enough that it doesn't get in the way on the court? Now, is it getting in the way of Jordan Poole? Is that why he's not playing as great and carrying himself with the swagger that he had last season? Maybe.
That might have been an interesting question.
But I think the fact that they can play together is significant.
Two more. Question. What can you say about the rumors that you would have interest in being traded to the Lakers? Quote, I never said that. People can say what they want. I'm also not really one to react much to what one may say. I react to things when I want to react to it. I don't react to things just because someone said it.
What?
Yeah.
Can you? What?
Yeah.
I'm not one to react to things just because someone said it. I'm one to react to things when I want to react.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not going to react to everything.
I'm also not really one to react much to what one may say. I react to things when I want to react to it.
Okay.
I don't react to things just because somebody said it.
Okay, I think I see what so he's saying that he's not going to give the time of day to something that he's like, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm not justifying that with a response. Okay, I think that's what he's getting at. So, okay. I mean, I don't think he's demanding a trade to the Lakers, but I think if he got traded there, I don't think he would mind it necessarily.
Last one real quick. Would you be interested in playing your entire career with Golden State? Quote, it's incredible when you look at the amount of guys who've played for only one team. Look around the NBA right now. There are 5 guys that's been on a team for 11 years plus. We've got 3 of them. Steph, Clay. Very rare thing. There's 470, 480 players in the NBA. 5 guys that's been with a team for 11 plus. That's amazing. So you don't just give that away. So absolutely, I'd be interested in that. If you had the opportunity to, you relish that opportunity. But in saying that, I do understand this is a business, and ultimately decisions have to be made. I have to make decisions, and you take them as they may.
That's fair. That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. That's a guy who's going into a year where he could opt out and try and get more money. He could opt it. Like, he has contract decisions to make, and you're not going to do that in the middle of the season through the media. I have no problem with that.
The best thing on
the
best thing on television is from 12:30 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. on Sundays. It's called The Witching Hour on the Red Zone channel. And its host, Scott Hansen, joins us next.